Panglima Taupan is the king of Balangini Island. Ito ay ang pinakamahalagang organization center of the largest slave trading group of the Sulu Sultanate. The son of Panglima Taupan, who is Abdullah Masno, who was once a devoted Christian and served as altar boy or yung sacristan in Catholic Church, but he was charged with returning to Basilan kasama ang Sama exiles in 1880 kasi para daw sa Kristiyano yung morong. But instead, he came with the Quran. So, pinahintulutan siyang mag-build ng mosque at isang pamayanan near Zamboanga in 1888. But when he died, Haji Abdullah had put his son sa office ng mayor ng Zamboanga and persuaded the United States to hire a Turkish imam for the mosque. In 1898, Spanish war ravaged Balangini. Sinira nila yung mga tahanan at dinampot yung mga tao dito. And then when Panglima Taupan traveled to Sulu, his island colony remained empty at kasamang dinukot yung kanyang buntis na asawa. So yung mga detainees were taken to a Spanish naval base in Cavite to convert Christianity. Nagkausap sila ng kanyang asawa and he met his son Antonio de la Cruz. And after that, they met in Vigan at the Cavite Arsenal, pero pagkatapos din nito ay namatay siya sa sakit na cholera. This story gives me the realization that to be able to be a successful and good leader, you must be a better listener and a follower. Nararapat lamang na ipakita natin ang ating pamumuno sa iba upang mabigyan ng idea yung mga tao naghahangad na maging pinuno at ma-improve ang kanilang ways when it comes to leadership. I realized that in order to achieve your goals, you must always work hard and put your plans into action. It's up to us if we can make ourselves miserable or we can make ourselves to be strong despite of all the challenges that we are facing. The mode that I use dito ay mirroring. In this topic, it is important to analyze the confession of Dr. Jose Rizal as a person na nakipaglaban sa mga Spanish colonialists. This leads to debates dahil there were unusual activities pa rin na naganap noon. Yung mga information that was given was unrelated to each other and there were some concerns on the day na Dr. Rizal signed the letters of retraction. But the main theme of this is the recovery of Rizal, and what struck me the most was his passionate Catholicism. As a child raised in Catholic family, I seem to have a good moral character, I guess. But I participate in church activities, and just like Dr. Rizal, I always try my best to follow God's virtues and principles, and intend to do so for the rest of my life. Belief is a serious thing that the warriors of our country held to as they fought through a tough battle, even yung mga soldiers in higher position. However, they could not endure the pain of war even though they are created of human blood. And a body that can feel all of this is not numb unless it is completely lifeless. Posibleng hindi nila nakayanan yung kanilang pakikibaka at sumuko because of their physical pain, but their beliefs and faith lead them to endure it sa abot ng kanilang makakaya. Just like now, we may not experience what they are experiencing during the war, but I know that every one of us experience or face challenges or struggle in our daily lives. Every day we are facing different challenges, but we all seek to cope and overcome them. And sometimes we just want to give up because we are tired na and lose hope. But nasa dugo na natin mga Pilipino na we have strong beliefs and live according to the doctrine of the Catholic Church. Throughout the 20th century, Encarnacion Alzana was the most well-woman historian and educator in the Philippines. She was awarded as one of the Philippines' national scientists in the field of history in 1985. Alzana is the first woman to achieve a doctoral degree in history, specializing in the history of education, and particularly women's education. Women were gradually granted the right to vote as a result of her efforts, and this in turn emboldened others to keep on working for women's rights. At ito naman yung nagpapalakas ng loob para sa ibang kababaihan to continue working for women's rights. Pero kahit pinahihintulutan o nag-e-exist na ang ating mga karapatan, we can deny that there are still misconceptions about women. But this is only serves to devalue us para pagbawalan tayong hindi maabot ang ating kakayahan. Having a constitutional convention to determine the main aspects of the country is one of the value components of the Tidings McDuffie Law. So, yung 1935 Constitution provided a legal framework para sa Commonwealth ng government. There was a 10-year transition period before the United States proclaimed the Philippines' independence from the United Kingdom in 1946. The 1935 Constitution was amended in 1940, replacing the unicameral legislature with a bicameral legislature. So, yung underlying principles and laws of the Philippines, which deal well with Filipino people, order and propagate this constitution with their own values and principles, and to maintain and improve the country's patrimony, promote the interests of the community, and ensure security to the good fortune of independence under a regime of justice, liberty, and democracy with the assistance of divine providence. So this issue will still have impact on me as a teenager, being able to pursue what I want on time and in accordance with my goals and aspirations. Emilio Aguinaldo issued a statement to the Filipino people kasi he knew that the American soldiers had undeservedly attacked the Filipino army. So, he ordered that all peaceful and stable relations between the two countries be terminated. So, and the copy of the declaration can be found at John Taylor's Philippine Insurgent Records. So, the Philippine-American War, which lasted from 1899 to 1902, saw the U.S. fight Filipino separatists in what could be considered as a continuation of the Philippine Revolution against Spanish rule. So, following Spain's defeat in the Spanish-American War, and the Philippines were taken over by the United States. So, despite the fact na it was declared stop in 1902, may mga tao pa rin na naglalaban for several years after that. And as a young person, it encourages us to be more responsible in our activities and spread good deeds. The chapter that I read emphasizes the longing of the people of the Republic of the Philippines for freedom under the control of dictator Don Emilio Aguinaldo. Johnson, an artillery colonel, observed and signed the agreement to liberate the country after itong sakupin ng kanilang mga settler. It is also stated na the flag should not be changed in a big way dahil it depicts the rich history and highest representation of the country. The Philippines was not always a free country. In different cases, we were besieged. Ang mga bansa sa buong mundo have sought to possess us, saying that we are bigger, tougher, and more capable compared before. But when Andres Bonifacio and Jose Rizal and some others fought our right in freedom that happened before, Dr. Jose Rizal na ating kasalukuyang bayani was also present for the membership of Katipunan. Yung Mabuhay ang Kalayaan ng Pilipinas was written by Bonifacio on the walls of the cave upang ipahayag kung ano ang purpose ng kanilang lihim na lipunan. Sumulit din si Dr. Rizal ng mga aklat tungkol sa kawalan ng katarungan sa mga pangyayari. After all, I realized how lucky I am today. Our heroes risked their lives so we could have freedom. And that's our choices in life are very important. Freedom is not an effective matter at ang pagiging sapat sa ating sarili ay maaaring mga hulugan na we are able to do what we want and value while staying within our limitations. Marahil para sa isang state, gayon din sa mga tao. That's why freedom is very important. It is so amazing to feel free while reading this. And although I have the right to do whatever I choose, pero hindi pa rin natin madadanan na may mga restriction pa rin dyan. Convention between the United States of America and Great Britain, delimiting the boundary between the Philippine archipelago and the state of North Borneo in 1930. This training will go over the terms of the convention and analyze the delimitation concerns between the Philippines and North Borneo. The convention was completed and submitted in Washington by their respective plenipotentiaries. The border between the Philippine archipelago and the British protected state of North Borneo is plainly marked on January 2, 1930, when the United States and the United Kingdom signed the convention delimiting the border between the Philippine archipelago and the state of North Borneo. The marked areas of these maps indicating the Treaty of Paris boundaries were linked to the same treaty and became a part of it. And when I learned this and read this, I applaud the scriptures because they have the potential to do good deeds for our country.